How many times did you get to go on this, Cynthia?
In total, I think I did 12 shows.
Okay, that's pretty
And
good.
those were back to back.
Oh wow, so you
Yeah,
got
and
it
I'm
all in.
so lucky because Bristol being quite like a big city as well, I managed to get some nice reviews.
Oh,
Which
awesome.
plus because it's so rare that a cover gets to go on
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that length of time, and especially for the whole venue. So there was no other, didn't know any other Cynthia other than me in Bristol. So that's
That's
nice.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. What do you uh what just tell me a little about the show, what it means to you, what that character means to you. I mean, there was a lot of powerful women in that story, so tell us a little bit about that.
Um, I mean, I loved my ensemble track. I really loved it because it was just a lot of fun and not a lot of pressure. And I loved singing Pleasant Valley. And obviously, one of the biggest like advantages of being in that track is that I spent so much time with Vicky because our tracks were kind of together. So we just have a scream, obviously, but always behaving ourselves because we're
Of
both
of
people. Um, but with Cynthia, that role for me, it was just something I could not wait to get like my teeth stuck into, because in terms of the foursome, the principals, Carole is completely self-deprecating. That's her, always putting herself down. Never thinks
yeah,
that she's sexy or doesn't think that she's funny or talented. So many of her lines are always like, "Are you sure that you want to do this with me?"
yeah,
Or
yeah,
sure? And then obviously there's Jerry, who, as you saw in the show, like suffers massively with kind of his mental health. And again, he's here, there, and everywhere. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I okay? Am I not? And then there's Barry, who, I mean, they're kind of like the comedy relief a little bit,
yeah,
the seriousness of some of the topics. But Barry's constantly thinking he's got something wrong with him. And, I think it's my sinuses, or it could be something else. Cynthia was kind of the glue a little bit, that held the four of them together and always
yeah,
held her, because she knew exactly what she wanted. She knew exactly who she was as a woman. She owned everything about herself. Like, she owned her professionalism, she owned her sexuality, she owned the comedy. And I just kind of think, for me, she would be, back then, everything I would want to be in a woman. Like, like quick-witted, really good at my job, like really on my shit, and then but like sassy with it. And I just loved her, and I love comedy acting, and I get a real buzz from it, because I don't think there's anything quite like it. I mean, in hard hitting scenes and in maybe like vulnerable scenes, if you can hear a pin drop, you're like, I got them. But you
yeah,
never know after the show when people come up to you and they say, "Oh, it was wonderful and we really enjoyed it." But with comedy, if you do it well, there is instant reassurance, and that instant kind of, we got your back, and we think that you're funny, because you can hear them laughing.
yeah,
And I said this last time when I spoke about it. Cynthia's first scene, her opening scene, is a killer, and that was always a scene I just wanted to be over. It's
yeah.
a country scene. I'm stating who I am. I'm, you know, letting everyone know what I want to do, what my job is. I'm very funny, but then also take me seriously in the mirror. And then she belts her song just in the middle of the scene. It's like straight away, like, bam, don't think or don't breathe. But I think in that scene, the first time I got a laugh was my moment of, there we go, settle into it now. The big scene is over. You've had your first laugh. Now you can breathe. And yeah, and it was just so wicked to get such a good run at it, because there were some lines, obviously the audiences are different, that kind of
Yeah.
don't. It's live theatre. It's the beauty of live theatre. So because I had the chance to try it a couple of times, I would change like my delivery of one line from one show to the other, because I'd be like, that one didn't quite land just this, but dum. Maybe I'll get a laugh. So yeah, it was great. I loved it. I loved the show. I miss it, and yeah, where was me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is something I've done a lot of comedy in my act when I acted, and there was just something about that, and even the anticipation of knowing. I played Oscar in The Odd Couple once, and there were some lines where I knew were going to kill every single. And it had nothing to do with me. I didn't write it. Neil Simon wrote it, but I knew they were going to kill every single night, and so I almost had to fight myself from laughing with the anticipation that I knew they were going to lose it in a second.
Oh, so spot on. There was one in the show that after one of the shows, and I knew that I'd done it. I knew it. After one of the shows, Alex, our resident, said to me, I mean, don't get me wrong, it lands really well, and it did tonight, and you got a big laugh, and you know, at one point I almost got around, which I was like, maybe enjoyed that a bit too much tonight, and I was like, yeah, I really did for that one, and it was the line, yeah, you know, Janelle Woods, yeah, you know, and he's like, Joe's having an affair with her. He's like, what could he possibly see in her? She's ugly and has no talent. And I absolutely screamed it in her face. And then like was doing like, massive like pause, like looking at the audience. And I just thought, you've absolutely milked that. You've gone too far with that one, Carly. I was like, fair dues. Noted. I did enjoy that one too much. I did. I think where, to be honest, everything kind of went way heightened because I was just so excited she was on stage with me. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. How many times did you guys do it together with her as just once? Okay.
Yeah. And we really didn't think it was going to happen because, I mean, a couple of things got moved around, but her usual show was like either a Thursday matinee or a Friday, whatever. And that week she was supposed to be on the Thursday matinee. And I'd already been told in the morning that I was going on for Cynthia.
Okay.
And they kind of jig things around a bit, and they were like, oh, we'll push Vicky's show back because obviously it leaves us quite vulnerable in terms of swings. If anything happened in live theatre, it's like one of the Shirelles or something injured themselves, like we'd have no offstage swings.
Yeah, right.
Used. So if push comes to shove, they'll try not to. But then obviously it got to Saturday and Vicky hadn't had her show that week, her contractual show as Carole. So they were like, we're just going to have to risk it for a biscuit and you can both go on together. And we got the Saturday night and what a buzz.
I can imagine.
Yeah, we had a great time. I mean, really well behaved.
Sure, of course. You're professionals.
Oh, professionals. But I think we were actually better behaved as Cynthia and Carole than when we were just in our other tracks, like genuine.
How much rehearsal did you get for Cynthia? Like either in the pre, you know, in the first run up to the launch in the tour, or during the weeks while you were getting ready?
Well, because we'd had our kind of detention and we'd had our weekly rehearsals at Glass Hill, we were all very much aware of the blocking and our lines and that kind of like the ABC of it. And we were actually running really well on schedule. So I'd already done a cover run as Cynthia before we went on. So obviously it's very different because the cover run is made up of the covers, not the people.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I was used to and rehearsed in with Jordan Fox, gorgeous, wonderfully talented, as my Barry. So I had spent all of my rehearsals just knowing me and him as Cynthia. That was it. And obviously we would alternate in rehearsals between Vicky or Julia as Carole. So I'd only ever known them as Carole. Fitting in with a foursome, you know, Laura had the day off, but fitting in with the other three that had been together for the whole rehearsal and for the whole shows up until that point was a little bit daunting because they've obviously got their own rhythm of things and their or their kind of nuances or looks here, looks there. And they had never seen me do it because they were never in the cover rehearsals.
Oh, yeah.
Ray and Cam I remember him saying to me, I'm so excited. He said, because I have no idea what your Cynthia's like. I have no idea. And Daisy said the same. She's like, I had no idea. And to be fair to them, they were so lovely and so kind. And, you know, we came off stage at one point, I think it might have been the interval, and, you know, excuse my language, it's a quote, but Daisy said, you're fucking hilarious. Thank you. She was like, no, seriously, I'm like, can you stop? And I was like, oh. And can you imagine the first time, like, someone like
being
kind of shop like me powering onto the stage, be like, I'm here, and her being like, well, you know, she's different from Laura Baldwin. Couldn't get more different. But yeah, it was amazing. and the cast were incredible and supportive. And unbeknownst to me, they were all in the wings when I was waiting
No.
to go on for my first scene, and they all stood there and watched and whooped and afterwards. And yeah, it was just a blessing. It was just a blessing to be part of it, really.
That's amazing. Were you a Carole King fan or a Beautiful fan before you started auditioning for this show?
I am a huge Carole King fan.
Okay.
So I'd already seen the show a couple of times in the West End.
Uh-huh.
And I actually went to see Carole King at Hyde Park in 2016.
Oh, wow.
When she did like a concert at Hyde Park. And I think that at the time, all of my friends were like, I don't know, at Glastonbury or like Creamfields, like 24, like, I think I might go and watch Carole King perform. And I did. So yeah, I love Carole King and I love her music. So I was quite familiar with the songs anyway, which I don't know if it's actually a blessing or a curse, because you know the songs so well that when you go in the room and they go, "This is your harmony," you're like, "Well, that's not the melody I
know." That's true. Have you met her?
Have I?
Have you met Carole King?
No. Can you? No. I would die if I met her. Like my legs would just go from underneath me, and I would just salmon to the floor and just kind of look up and I don't even know. I'm awkward anyway. I'm a bit gawky. Like things would go. So she did like retweet some stuff to do with the show, obviously because of the beautiful like tweets.
Yeah.
Put stuff on Insta, and I died every single time she would put something else up. It was my birthday and we did that. Did you see the like the collage video of us all doing Earth Move?
Yes.
That was released on my birthday, and I was like, "Oh, happy birthday to me!" And then Carole King put it on Instagram, and I was like, "Okay, nobody even bother getting me a present because." So cool.
That's amazing. I think Vic said she met her for like half a second when she did the West End show. Yes.
Yeah, I think she was. I would have died. Although I've just seen that Julia's joined, and we have this ongoing joke that Julia Dre is Carole King. Like, whoever and anyone is ever blessed enough to see Julia's Carole, it's something else. And I'm gutted that chance to get on, and everyone didn't have a chance to see most of the people that were just so full and just cut too damn short.
Yeah, where were you when you found out the tour was being postponed and then ultimately canceled?
I was at home. I'm trying to think when the date was. I don't know if we'd actually gone into lockdown yet. I think we might have. But yeah, I was just sat at home and we got look at Julia and my mum having a conversation on it. Yeah, we got the email and I had a little cry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because in my mind, like you said earlier on at the very beginning, I don't think we understood the weight of this. Like in my mind, I was like, do you know what? It's fine. We'll have a couple of days off Sunderland. Like it's okay. I'll get a couple of extra days at home and rest because we were all like, actually, we could do with the rest because And in my mind, I was just like, oh, we'll have a couple of days and then we'll get back on it and everything's going to be fine. And then it really wasn't. And I think when we got the email, that's when it hit me, and I was just devastated. And it was a real kind of grieving process. But I was quite fortunate, because for the first 2 weeks or so of lockdown, I had Julia come stay with me, and she came and stayed in my family home. So for me, at the time, I don't think I realised, but I was holding on to that little extra bit of beautiful. Like I still had to be there from the cast, and we were all still very much talking, and I mean we still do. We had a Zoom, but it was like a little part of beautiful that was still with me, and I think it didn't really hit me until she left to go back to Australia, and I was left here on my own. Like, oh shit, the show is really done, and like people were messaging like, "Hi, I've got tickets for Birmingham in July. Is it still going ahead?" And you have to reply and be like, "I'm sorry, we've been told no."
Yeah.
And it is SH1T and very sad. But fingers crossed, who knows, maybe next year, we don't know. And if not, hopefully just onwards and upwards and on to the next. And at least we got open and we got on. And we got
there was
people what we were about. So
yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of shows that didn't even get to open or a lot. I was actually in New York the week that New York shut down, that Broadway shut down, and that's when it really hit me as like, wow, this is like. I mean, I knew it was serious. I was being careful and all that stuff, but I had seen Six on a Wednesday night, and then I was going to see Beetlejuice. All shows I had seen already, but I was going to see Beetlejuice the next night, and
Yeah.
then that night, that Wednesday night, they shut down all the sports leagues, and I'm like, oh, whoa. And then the
Yeah.
next day at like 5 o'clock, they shut Broadway down. And I literally, it was the only time during this whole process that I've had like an anxiety attack. I'm like, I need to get out of New York right now. Like, and I just went to the airport and left. Like,
I've seen some videos and stuff, on Insta. I've obviously not been, but of people kind of filming, the West End and stuff.
oh, yeah.
And it's just surreal, and it really kind of hits you in the gut, doesn't it? Like, what is this? Like, this is our whole livelihood, our whole world revolves around this. We have to go back.
I know.
But we have to be patient and keep doing things like this, and keep sharing music and positivity and love and joy and bunny rabbits, and everything's going to be.
How are you doing on time? The one benefit of having a freeze is we reset the Instagram clock. You have a few more minutes for a few more questions?
Do we have a few more minutes? No, I've got a really busy day. I'm going out to movies, and then yeah, hit me.
All right. We're going to do some more audience participation questions. Your favorite costume and wig from Beautiful?
Ooh, does it have to be like matching wig with matching costume?
Nah, we're in a pandemic, Carly. You can match anything you want.
My favorite costume was Cynthia's Vermont costume. Little trousers with a little shirt tucked in, little boot, cheeky. Or Cynthia's Pleasant Valley. I quite like that. But I think my wig is Marilyn's, my ginger wig.
Ah, a ginger. Oh, yeah.
Loved it.
Nice. Okay. Advice for a 17-year-old with her heart in theater, but struggling to make others understand.
Oh, I don't know who she means by others. Oh, Jessie.
Let's assume parents.
That you just have to be really honest and transparent with whoever in your life. I just genuinely believe that in life anyway, that honesty is the best policy. And sit them down and say, I understand that it isn't the most stable. I understand that it's going to be hard work and hard graft, but it's me going through it and I want to. And I'm not asking anything of you. I just need you to be there and support me in my choices.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. More. Where's your glass from? It's really nice.
I actually got this as a Secret Santa present years ago. It says ladies gin on it. I don't know.
I can see it.
Give it to me. I don't see a lady. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I like it. All right, let's keep going. These are some fun questions in here. What was the hardest part about going on tour?
I am massively family orientated, so leaving my family, leaving my dog, and yeah, my nieces are a really big part of my life, and they're relatively young. I mean, Evie is 9; she's 9 in June, but the baby is a baby, so I seeing them and watching them grow and change and learn. So definitely family, I think.
All right, let's keep going. Oops, sorry. Hold on. There we go. Funniest onstage mishap. Everybody likes the onstage mishaps.
Okay. I mean, there were a couple of times, maybe, that made me, like, possibly giggled, like maybe a little bit. And there might have been a couple of times I'm looking at my mum saying notebook. It wasn't a notebook, it was a clipboard. There was a couple of times that me and Vicky maybe had to actually turn away from each other and go back to back because we couldn't be together. Because we're awful if one of us slightly went. And because we knew each other so well by this point, you can just tell like the tiniest waver in the voice or like a twitch of the mouth. That's it, game over. And when my mum says notebook, she means clipboard, and basically really took Cameron Sharp's head off with a clipboard because I had to throw it in He's Sure the Boy I Love, and I got way too excited, again, Vicky's show, and I've got a strong arm, I'm a dog, I throw a ball every day. propelled it through the air. And I mean, obviously I can't see it because my back's to him, but apparently he did some kind of matrix move in order to save it whilst playing the piano, whilst singing. I just know that he was very proud of himself. Like he tweeted about it. It was a big deal. So probably one of those.
The common thread I'm sensing is Vicky Mansour is a troublemaker, is what
I don't want to
sensing.
say it, I think, but I don't want to be that person. But you know,
All right, let's see.
yeah.
Let's look at it. Let's look at another. Did you? I think this may be the same answer, but let's ask it. Did you have any apprehensions about going on tour?
No, I've been on tour before, so I know that I like it. I do like the tour life, different venues every week and different places and different nightlife and just different things. No, I wasn't apprehensive. I was excited, if anything. I just think that the one thing that was a bit is my family.
Is family, yeah.
Super excited, super excited.
What's your favorite tour city? I think that was one of the questions.
I'm gonna have to say Bristol because
Yeah.
I mean I loved all of them. I mean, as you can probably tell, I'd have fun with like by myself and I had a great time everywhere. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Bristol because it was just such a laugh.
And what this name is pretty funny. The name is Carly's Vicky. What was the most rewarding part about going on tour?
I think kind of taking the show, the amazing story that we were telling, and the music and the most talented cast I've ever worked with, taking that to every different area and showing a different group of people rather than just sitting in one place. Like by going to all these places, a big chunk of the UK we're seeing what we had. So I think probably that, and just performing Carole King songs every night.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Story. That's literally the most rewarding thing of all, I think.
Yeah. Was the tour pretty popular? Were most of the houses sold out? Was it a big?
Well, unfortunately, like the bigger venues were towards the middle to the end of the tour.
Oh, okay.
Cardiff, though, our last week was literally nearly sold out every single night. The full
That's
late
amazing.
show. And that's big. So that was amazing to perform to that. That was amazing.
So I said favorite city, but what about favorite venue? Do you have a favorite venue?
That's going to be Cardiff then.
Cardiff.
It was huge. Just beautiful.
All right, a couple more questions from the audience. That is a really okay. Well, there's a lot of words here. Did you enjoy making Cynthia your own and not having to worry about playing her the same way Laura did?
Yeah, and I knew that anyway before I ever went on, before I even started rehearsals, because I mean we're chalk and cheese, me and Laura. So there was ever any doubt that we were going to portray the character the same way, and I was looking forward to having my own spin on it, because then there's no comparison and there's no, not there ever would be, because she is, I don't know if you know her or if you've spoken to her, a queen of queens and the most wonderful and kind person, literally giving me, like, leaving presents in my dressing rooms before I was on for my cover run, like that kind
That's
of
amazing.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was never any competition or anything like that, but because we were so different, it didn't even cross my mind to be like, oh, am I doing this like Laura?
Yeah.
It's
hard. You drive yourself crazy. Exactly. You have to, at the end of the day, there's always, as much as we're performers and actors, there's always a piece of us in everything we do. It's hard to turn it off.
Come off and you nitpick everything that you've done, like, oh, they didn't laugh. Right? Why? Because I wasn't funny. Just have to move on.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't met Laura. I saw her in Waitress, but I did not, I've never met her. So she was amazing in Waitress. Yeah.
Of beauty and grace.
What is your favorite memory on tour?
Oh. I think because I've made so many memories, because, like, as you could probably see following our Instagram and things like that, we had just such a blast, such a great time. I think that instead of a memory, like the moment that I will take with me and hold on to forever is my Cynthia bow on Saturday night, because I'm really proud of myself. I had done a whole week and loved it, and had some lovely reviews and had nice comments from my peers and from my friends and members of the public had kind of reached out, and so many people who are watching this, you know, messaged me. Premium toast. I'll get to that. But yeah, I think that final bow was. I mean, I didn't know it was the final one, but that Saturday night was probably the best moment of tour. And then second, quickly followed by premium toast. I got hammered and stayed at Julia's and made her make me premium toast at stupid o'clock in the morning, and it was delicious.
What's your definition of premium toast?
This was Julia's title. I don't know. Toast. It's like, great. I just wanted a snack. It was bread, cheese, and bacon, I believe.
Oh, that is pretty premium.
Fancy for this was like use of like kitchen equipment at, I don't even know what time in the morning. And I honestly could have just as easily, such a good question. I could have just crisps really, but I really appreciate that bacon. Yeah, I appreciate it, Julia. It was delicious.
All right, my buddy Jem. Do you remember Bertha? How is she? How is she dealing with lockdown? Was lovely to meet her.
I am shook. Yes, she's doing really well. She hasn't made an appearance in a minute because the weather is so lovely that, as you can see, I'm glowing. Like, Bertha was a huge spot that I had. And girls at the stage door, and they were just absolute babes and so lovely and so kind. And can we get a photo? And I was like, yeah, but can we like make sure, girls, we put a heavy filter on it, because this Bertha, she was big, and I'm mortified that is now a thing. But also in the same breath, I don't care. So very well, but she's not alive and kicking at the minute. I'll let you know when I'll post it.
Thanks for that one, Gemma. All right. Just, I'm going to give this. Can you please get Cameo so you can see it in writing now? You have it officially in writing. No, you don't have to comment. You made your position clear. All right. We're almost done with these questions. If you were to create an original musical, what would it be about?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Oh, I've got so many different ideas floating around right now. Like, one part of me is like my dog. Another part of me wants to do another show kind of like with a Six vibe. Not Six, but just like a really strong female-led, like absolute kick-ass musical just full of badass women.
We need a lot more of those. So
yeah, and I just think that would be great. Like, I would love to represent and have women from all walks of life and different everything, and get them all in one place and just rock the shit out of it, basically. I think that's probably what I would do. I'd love like an all-woman musical.
So since you brought up Six, if you were in Six, which queen would you play?
Cleves.
Somebody already said that, Carly Cleves.
I know. I was in for Six. We had like a little joke about it because me and Vicky did a podcast a couple of weeks into tour, and someone's brought up Six, and I was like, oh yeah, like I remember that time that I was in for Six and I didn't get it and you did. And she was like, because I've been in for Six a couple of times, and
okay.
been seen for a couple of the queens, and always ended up in the final for Cleves.
Oh, for Cleves. Okay. You are, so this is I meant to mention at the beginning, this is my 6th interview on Are You On Stage, and you're the first person that hasn't been formally paid by Six at some point in their careers. So it's kind of ironic to have a non-Six person as my 6th person. So.
There's time for everything.
But you know what? That's probably going to be good luck that you'll land it later. So I've just given you perfect luck. What's a dream role for you?
I would actually, it's kind of a strange one, because I know, well, it's not strange, but I know that so many people are like, alphabet. No. I would really, really, really love to be Elvie in The Rise and Fall of Little Voice.
Oh.
That is one of my dream roles, because I love accents and impressions. I love impersonation. And the people that she sings, you know, old classics, Judy Garland and kind of Shirley Bassey and Diana Ross and all of them, I would just I would love to. I would love to do that. I mean, like later on in life, I've got kind of goal roles. Like I want to be Mama and Gypsy. Um, I would like to do. I've done a profit share of Sweeney Todd, but I'd like to do it properly
That's
because
a
I'm
good show.
a gift of a role, and I
Yeah.
love that. But yeah, LV is like a really big one for me. I would love to. I just think it would be such a challenge, and it's so different because it's not typical musical theatre. It's almost like a play with music, but you
Yeah.
there's all of these huge icons and like amazing women of all different times. Like, what more could you want? So that's my
Yeah. That's awesome. What do you ever see yourself directing or choreographing, or what do you see yourself what do you see yourself doing down the road?
I mean, I could choreograph a very strong step click. So get rid of that one. I would love to do some directing, but I just kind of, it's really weird, isn't it? As a performer, even though we do what we do, we don't really think that highly of ourselves, like just in general. And I'm just kind of like, well, I would try, like I would, try directing, but I don't really know if I've got anything good to say or if I've got good ideas. But who knows? I like teaching. I used to do a little bit of teaching on the side when I was in training and when I was at home. And I did some singing teaching. And I love kind of working with younger people and helping and giving advice in any way I can. So maybe that's something I would maybe explore, like some workshops or kind of passing on what I know, or even just giving my opinion. I don't really think I'm qualified enough to do any more than that.
Oh, I doubt that. What's a show right now that you would just want to see, that you just want to sit in the audience, have a cocktail, and watch?
Oh, I don't know because
And you probably haven't gotten to see much lately.
I haven't seen anything in a really long time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that, people are asking, oh, if after lockdown, like what's the first show you want to go and
Yeah.
run and see? And there were so many on my list that I wanted to see, some because my friends were in and some just because I wanted to see the show because I've heard such amazing things. But I do feel like a big kind of, even something like Six, imagine being at the first show back in feel like because it's quite a lot of like audience participation at the end, it all just goes off. I feel like something like that would be incredible. I mean, obviously there's beautiful shows like Les Mis that might go back on tour and things, and you'd love to sit and watch them. But I think I would go for one with a bit more like party vibe because I think it'd be a audience, isn't it? The first time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Like, oh,
Honestly,
it's gonna be crazy. My cat is making an appearance. I don't know if you can see her in the.
what's her name?
Her name is Scully, and usually I lock them up, but I forgot because they were sleeping. So hey, say hi, Scully. All right, that's enough for you. I have another cat and a dog hiding somewhere, but usually I put them in their little room because that will happen. But her and the other cat were sound asleep under a blanket, so I didn't want to bother them. So,
I mean, it usually makes an appearance, but sometimes like of an evening, she's had a walk for the day and she's had her playtime and she's tired out, so she's in bed now. But if it's in the afternoon, she'll normally come and show her face on camera. She's such a show off.
so what's next for you career wise? Hopefully beautiful launches up again soon.
Honestly, who knows?
Yeah.
I would like to be super hopeful and say, I mean, super hopeful would be Beautiful comes back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
More realistically hopeful would be a theatre reopens and I might get a nice role in something else and go on from there. I hope that it's the beginning of kind of getting some nice shows under my belt. But at the minute, I can't answer you, Mike, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, and I'm happy just to be safe and healthy. And
Of course.
yeah, I don't know. I hope work. That's it. Work.
I put you on the spot on that one. That's fair. What's your favorite vacation spot? Sorry.
All right.
Favorite vacation spot?
Oh. Uh, Anywhere hot. I love sun.
But you don't sweat.
No, I don't perspire. Fine. No, I just love the sun. I like to be tanned, and anywhere with an all-inclusive offer. Stop over a G&T at 10 o'clock in the morning without being judged is good.
What would you do if you weren't in theater?
I think I'd be in the forces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd either, I think a toss up between being in the army or being a policewoman. I think probably a
Okay.
police.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. So I always end these interviews with this or that. Are you ready for a round of this or that?
Okay, it's spinning. Okay,
Yeah,
ready?
yeah, yeah. No substitutions
Okay.
allowed. Okay, here we go. And then I'll check if there's any last questions I missed, and then I'll let you go because it's been a while. All right, here we go. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Duh. Call or text?
Text.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Good answer. Coffee or tea?
Mm. Tea.
Tea, you're the first Brit. Oh, you're not. Well, yeah, you're the first one that said tea. Everybody says coffee. I'm a bit shocked by that. Beer or wine?
Neither. Oh,
Neither?
wine.
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 Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Are you binging anything good right now?
I've just finished. I actually watched that White Lines. Wasn't really sure about it. I keep up with RuPaul,
Yeah.
and American Idol. Yeah, there's a couple of things, a couple of series I've been watching. And I'm going to watch that Ben Platt thing. Have you seen that that's gone on there?
Oh, yeah. I had some friends that were at that concert that he keeps circling himself in all the promotional videos that are coming up. Oh, I left one out. Lake or ocean?
Ocean.
Ocean. Okay. Let me just see if I don't want to leave anybody out because everybody had such good questions. So let me just take a final look and see if we missed anything that we haven't asked in another form or another. Okay. There's a million questions, all from the same person. Can we have a workout routine?
From me? Are you mad? I will join Vicky for one of her on a live. How about that? And you
Good
can
advice.
watch me work. I don't know I wouldn't teach you anything. I follow a personality.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You gave us way extra time. It was so great to finally talk to you. I feel like I know you like already, and I've never met you before, so in person. So
Well,
thank you so much.
Ball blows over and you come over to the UK. Do hit me up and we'll.
I am like on the first plane that they allow over to UK. I'm like, I had like 2 trips to the UK planned because I go there for work a lot. I had 2 planned before the lockdown. I usually go about once every 6 weeks. So I had a March trip that got canceled, and then I had an April trip that was supposed to be with my wife, and I was going to take her to all my fave shows like *And Juliet* and *Six* and all the stuff, and then it all got canceled. So yes, I will be I am like. I'm not afraid. I will be on that first plane where the only thing I won't do is right now you have to quarantine for 14 days. So I can't afford to do that. So once that's lifted, they just announced today. They just announced today that if you come in UK, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So yeah,
that's a lot.
not going to do that. That's a long time. Yeah, so. But yes, drinks on me in the future in person. Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'll buy. Well, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you. Be safe, and thanks everybody for joining. Somebody asked earlier, I will save this live, which is one of the reasons I went a little longer because I think we lost the first part of this, unfortunately, when it froze, but I will save this one. So at least we'll have about 45 minutes of Carly's amazingness to look at. Have a great night. Tell your mom good night and thank you, and say hello to Dottie. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.